Who's recording?
Yep,
Yes.
you're all set.
I
Nice
didn't
job.
I didn't get the notification of the recording.
Yeah, it's recording.
It's recording.
Yeah, we got it.
Amazing. So we started the book of Shemot. In English, it's called Exodus, but it's really, the Rav explained, it's the book of names. And I heard a message from Michael from last year about our personal name, and I'm going to incorporate this in this class, some of the teachings that Michael was giving. So what do we read, guys? What did we read about? Please share. We read verse 167 to 174. 5. What did we read about?
There was so much in there. My God.
Yeah.
But what I got out of it, especially from the first few verses, was to see that we can't see the big picture. We can't,
Right.
that the righteous can seemingly leave the world because of the wickedness of the generation, and people who are wicked could live in peace and tranquility. Uh, and and we can't see the bigger picture of men
We
of
don't know. But
yeah.
let's go internally. Like, I like to internalize things. So who is the wicked and who is the righteous inside of us? What is it for us today in 2025, January 2025? How can we relate to wicked and righteous within us?
Great question.
The
Great
wicked
question, right?
Right.
the wicked will be like things that you want to do it for yourself and trying to damage people. And the righteous is like whatever you sold is connected to the creator.
Right.
And
You're right. That's the correct answer. You're right. So when the Zohar speaks of the wicked and the righteous, it speaks about us today, not 3,000 years ago when the Zohar was written. When what Joel shared with a lot of passion about Rav Ashlag, I agree with you. Rav Ashlag was giving us an ability, a revelation, so we can really get. He left so much, Rav Ashlag, in the translation of the Zohar, so we can really get the energy that's being revealed for us today. Today, not tomorrow, not yesterday, today. There's an opening today for us to understand exactly what is it that we need to do in the energy of today and tomorrow, this week of Shemot. So, as we said, righteous is within us, and the wicked is within us as well. So, what is it that we need to do? Like, what's going on? Like, let's read a little bit. First, when we read about it, very important. When we read that verse in the Zohar, it awakens something within us. It's empowering our soul to be able to do just that. Like the wicked in 172, it says that it was a wicked, it was the neighbor of Rabbi Chia, that one night he saw a woman crossing and he wanted to rape her. And she told him, please respect your Lord. Do not do that. And because she said that, something was awakened within him. And he waved that. He didn't rape her. He let her go. What is it? Why the Zohar is saying that? It's to empower us. It's to give us energy. It's to give us the secret of those days. You know, we are in Shemot, in the portions of coming out of the exile. What's the secret of the exile? We spoke about Egypt last week and the secret of Egypt, the secret of darkness. And in those portions now, Shemot Vayera, Bo Beshalach Yitro Mishpatim, we call them Shovavim. You know, Shovavim, Shovav, the literal translation is a menace. And Shovavim is menace in plural. So I don't know how to say it in English, I'm sorry. But I don't know if there was a word for it. For many
singular and plural, the same word.
The same, right? So yeah, okay. So it's many.
You can say rascals, Shobabim.
Rascals, okay. Okay, so what's the secret of those days, of those weeks? Like, what is the Rav explaining? Like, what is the deep secret of those days, guys? What's happening during those portions? 6 weeks. Actually, it's 8 weeks. But what's really going on? What can we do in those weeks that we can not do, or it's hard for us to do in the rest of the year? That was a big clue. Do you know?
Don't know.
You don't know?
We can recover sparks of light that we lost in the past.
Exactly. How deep those sparks go?
I think past lives as well.
Those sparks are the deepest, most strongest, most powerful, most dark ones. That there is no opportunity for us to elevate unless those 8 weeks. This is like, I play video games, okay? And whoever plays video games, I'm playing a game. Like I open it once a day or twice a day for a couple of minutes, and we have tournaments. It's strategically, you kill monsters, okay? So I love it because it's like my escape time. I clear my head, I go do something else. I'm like clearing my mind. It's like my take off time. So in those times in the game, you have like bonuses. Like if you press the bonus, so when you're hitting the monster, you gain more power. You can kill the monster sooner. You have a bonus. You have all kinds of bonuses. And when you activate the bonuses, when you go to kill the monsters, so it's easier. So it's powerful. So you gain more points. And those 8 weeks, it's like a bonus time. You gain more points in the game. It's like our game is becoming closer to our soul, closer to our creator, to become like one with the creator. So we know that we cannot do it alone. We need assistance. We need the creator assistance to do that. But there are particular times when you can really reach out and dwell in negativity and just take the spark out of it and elevate it. Just by having the consciousness. Just by going through a hard situation with a person you just met. Like I'm going to share something. Like on Shabbat, I'm standing at the bima and I'm doing the blessings for the aliyot, for the guys that comes up, Yisheberach and all the stuff. So I was calling Meir and he couldn't hear what I said. So he came to me and told me, you're swallowing the words, you're not saying it clear. And then somebody else told me something else, and I was going through a movie in my head, and I'm not doing the right thing. And when it was my time to share consciousness, I was not there. I was in my movie.
Wow.
And I thought to myself, like, oh my God, it's a missed opportunity. Like I could reveal ginormous light. And instead of revealing that light now, I was inside myself in a movie that was not helping me to grow. But I took it in and I let my ego burn. And then on Sunday, I was in a business meeting presenting a product that I was doing for a client. And the product was not all the way. There were some parts are missing, some calculations that are wrong. And I was going through a hard time with the client. And I was restricting the whole time. I took responsibility. I told the client, listen, let me work on that. Give me few more days. The product will come to the level that you desire. And I left the meeting after 3 hours meeting. It was a long meeting with 10 people. It was a hard meeting. And I was asking myself, how come I'm going through those experiences? Like, what's going on? And then I realized, oh my God, it's Shovavim. That's the time to restrict and elevate the spark. Like it says in the verse. This is why I wanted to share this verse with you. It says over here. It says in verse 170, in the middle of it. And those righteousness are standing on their existence and do not sin. Do not. I had an opportunity to be mad. I had an opportunity to say something to the teacher that told me something, the two teachers that said something to me. I had an opportunity to act on my client and do not take responsibility, but I chose not to. Why did I do that? Because I wanted the light. I wanted the spark within. I wanted the energy that awaits me after that. That's what I wanted. I wanted a connection. The bad experience, the hard time I was going through is nothing. It's passing in an hour, in 2 hours. In those times, our actions, our behavior, our restriction, that's what counts. The small things we do. Like Michael said, I'm going to send you the teaching. What really matters in our life? It's not the big things that we do. It's not how many Zohars we share. It's not how many donations we gave to the center. It's not how many big we influence the people. This is not what counts. What really counts on the soul side of things is the small things. How I restricted. Like Rav Michael share on the teaching. It was a conversation between two righteous. One was leaving the world, and the other one was asking about the greatness of his soul. So the righteous that was just about to leave the world told him, please share with me something great that you do. So he didn't share the millions of students he was teaching. He shared about the time that he had his personal money to give to charity, And he had the collective money that he collected from the students to give to the poor. And this money was mixing. And he couldn't differentiate which money was which. So he gave everything to the poor. That's what he told him, this little restriction that he did. Because that's what really matters. What really matters is the small thing, the restriction that you do between yourself and the Creator. This is what really matters. This is what really empowers our soul, not anything else. Don't think that all the sharing that you do, that all the giving that you do, that all the energy that you're revealing in other people's life, those are not your greatness. And this is why I chose this one. This is why I chose this verse. Because it's empowering us to go deeper into the klipa and elevate that spark. Bring it up. Don't wave it. Bring it up. It's your bonus. It will give you so much life, so much support on your next journey to come. This is why we do it. This is why those weeks consider to be tough. Because we're going to experience tough experiences. But if we're going to stay focused, we're going to stay locked in on the restriction we're going to do next. Like the girl was telling to the wicked, like the wicked we have inside, no, you need to not restrict, shout, angry, mad, envy, not restrict, instant gratification. No. Those are the opportunities of these weeks. So we can empower our personal name, our name, the greatness of our soul. How great is your soul? Depends on how much restriction you can do. The Zohar ends. I'm going to read it again. 274 and 275. So it says, he said again, I saw everything in the days of my village. And this is the friends who were also sharing. When the wisdom was given to Solomon, he saw everything. We have those times with clarity in the day. Usually in the morning, after we do the connection, we have clarity of the day. This is the time when wisdom is being given to us. And when is it was given to Solomon? It was given in the time of the domain of the moon, which is the Nukba, that it was full, the moon was full. Because King Solomon was receiving from it. We're all in the time of exile now. Everything that happens in the world is exile. It is exile. What happened with the hostages, that now we're revealing this energy and we really want to break through and release them. All of them. I want to send her this energy that we're revealing today so it can really can be ended. You know, they are over 160 days in the tunnels of Hamas. And in this time of exile, this exile means that there is no unification between us and the Creator. It's lacking of that unification. And every time we meet a spark that is dark, in the darkness, and we restrict and we have the opportunity to release it with that restriction, every time we do that, we bring the exile to an end. This is why we do it. Like the Israelites now are in exile in Egypt, and they're going to be redeemed in the next portions. Vayera, Bo, and then the climax in Beshalach when they split the Red Sea. All of these, what happens in the Torah, it's not just stories, it's a revealment of energy that really happens in these weeks. So we can climb out of that exile and be united, unified with our soul and the Creator. And this is what we can reveal in these days. And this is why I chose this verse to read. Because every time we overcome the darkness and release the spark, redemption is coming not just for us, but for the rest of the world. So it is to get us motivated, to get us laser focused on that, on just that. In that clarity, when the moon is full and shines to us, we have the opportunity to draw that wisdom to do everything that we meant to do in the world. The little things. Questions, guys?
Joseph, I'm going to suggest that you, maybe some of the people don't know about what Shovarim, am I saying it right, means? There might be some people
The word
know
Shovavim,
yeah.
Shovavim is the initials of the portions Shemot, Vayera, Bo, Beshalach, Yitro, Mishpatim. If you look at the initial of the letters, it creates the word Shovavim. It speaks about those 8 weeks, about the energy of those 8 weeks that we are just started. Those 2 months that we started with in the middle of the month of Tevet until Yom Kippur, until Purim, until Purim. We have 2 months till Purim, exactly 2 months from now. And those are those 2 months that we can elevate those sparks till Purim, which Purim is the redemption, right? Redemption that being done with the mouth. So, questions, guys?
In my Zohar, there's a very long explanation about this portion that it's about the coming of the Mashiach. Oh. And it's very powerful. It's also related to me personally because my father passed away on this portion a long time ago. So the coming of Mashiach, I mean, there's so many people around the world are expecting and wanting Mashiach. So, Bezat Hashem, we hope it will be very soon.
Like, how can you expedite that? How can you expedite Mashiach?
I think it's something personal. Each one of us we need to look deep inside and see what more can I do? What more can I express and share with others? And
exactly.
And I think people don't realize how powerful the Zohar is for everything that affects you, anything at all. It's just read the Zohar. That's all I keep telling everybody. So,
so really, one of the reasons I chose this speaks about the wicked and the righteous is because like it says in one of the verses, it says, there can be a righteous that nothing happens to him because he had the one opportunity to do something good and he did it. So this wicked guy became a righteous for a moment. And for that, no judgment can touch him. Just for that. So think about it. All of us are partly wicked, partly righteous. Sometimes we're like this, sometimes we're like that. Well, what really counts? What really counts is what we do. When we have an opportunity to be wicked, to think only of ourselves, and we do the opposite. We restrict.
I just
So
remembered. Okay, go ahead.
yeah, no.
And I just, you reminded me as you were talking about, wicked and, righteous. When I was at the governor's mansion a few days ago, I had a situation and I shared it with the team that it was like all of a sudden I just felt this person come and just verbally said something that was very offensive. And I was wondering how come, that was happening. So I was acting like you. I was like, how come this is in my movie? I was not expecting to have this confrontation with this person here with all these people. And so I said, you know what? I'm just not going to be reactive. I'm just going to stay quiet. There is something here. And I just remembered what you were teaching. And there's something here. And I realized that I had not read the Zohar at that place. And I had brought my Zohar and I said, you know what? At any moment that I have an opportunity, I'm going to read the Zohar because it will be the first time ever that is read in the governor's mansion. So at that moment that I was feeling so like all kinds of emotions running through me and all kinds of thoughts, like, how is this happening? I said, you know what? I'm just going to grab the Zohar. And I just grabbed it and I opened it. And while the governor was speaking, I was just reading. I was reading Zohar. And I read, I don't know how many verses, and I closed it and I put it away. And one of the ministers that was next to me, because they were all religious leaders that were at that moment, looked at me and said, what is that? Like she felt an energy from the Zohar. And I said, oh, I'll share more about it, but it's a very powerful, amazing book that actually Jesus taught as well. And so it was a very amazing, it was an amazing moment for me because it helped me heal from that moment. And then it opened my eyes as to what was really happening. And what was causing the problem. And at the same time, it was a revelation from Hashem, like, okay, you got to do this. And so I had the most amazing revelation in the middle of being like totally,
That's what happened when you release the spark. When you release the spark, you get an instant unification with an energy that was lost from you, with the spark of the creator that was lost from you for I don't know how many reincarnations.
Yes.
And when you reveal that, you get an instant unification of new knowledge that comes to you, new understanding.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I'd like to ask you a question.
Yes.
Okay, in the 15th day of the growth of the moon, is every, like what we're talking about today, the Shemot, is every full moon actually the signal for people on earth connecting with Zohar, with the Creator? Is that the time, is that a sign to let people know what their corrections or what they're to do, as such as what you, Michelle, did? Is that the time to do these actions and for our from our thoughts being connected on the full moon.
On the full moon, what happens is on full moon, what happens? There is a greater opportunity to reveal the light. It's like all the channels are open. So I really didn't understand what is it exactly that you want to do, but there is no good or bad time for internal work. It's like there are times that it's more powerful to do, which is the 15th of the day, where all the righteous are coming to help us because it's the highest point of the month.
Mm-hmm.
But there is no good or bad time to restrict. All the time we need to restrict. We have an opportunity to restrict on every moment. And we just need to think, what is the restriction I need to do now? Like, and those things really what matters, really what elevates you. So when the test is coming, when you meet the spark that you need to elevate, you're already well experienced with understanding what's the restriction I need to do now. So when it comes, you don't waste the opportunity. You win it, like Michelle was doing, like I was doing, like I'm sure each and every one of you was doing in the past few days since the portion of Shemot was starting. So guys, we need to wrap up.
Oh.
So I thank you very much.
Thank you.
Having you.
Very good.
Thank you. Missing the flow.
Amen.
Yosef,
We missed
I'm going to
it,
text
man.
you a